So what did university actually teach me? I spent £60,000 to go to Imperial College London, and I studied biomedical sciences, or medical biosciences. And last week I graduated, and I was kind of having this moment of reflection of like, well, what have I actually learned? And I thought, well, as someone who's actually done it, I could do a little bit of a tell-all and explain to you what I actually have learned, because I've learned a lot of things over the last 3 years, and I think some of them are worth knowing. Anyways, because I don't want to just sit here in my room and just sort of talk to the camera, I thought it would be a really nice, wholesome way to go to my prep school where I started this entire journey, because believe it or not, I am basically done with education unless I go back, which I might do, but at the moment I'm not going back. So technically I'm done with education, so I thought we'd go back to where we started. Well, this definitely feels weird. I haven't been back here in, I don't even know how many years, maybe 13, 14? Yeah, it's been a while. Well, here's where it all started. Just want to quickly say, by the way, I'm not going to be going into the school because that would be very weird, because I am now 22 and that would probably lead to me getting arrested. Right, so I think the first thing that I want to make clear is that this video isn't going to be like, oh, I learned how to use PowerPoint and then they taught me how to do a presentation. And, you know, I learned lots of skills like that at university, but I feel like I have quite a holistic view on university, because I feel like we as people grow through experience. When you suffer or go through a hard time, which I'll be real, university was for the best part of it, you learn. Now, I think the first thing, one of the things that I learned really, really early on in university, and possibly really in the first term, is that you are responsible for your own mental health. Mental health is a manifestation of your lifestyle, or it has been for me, at least. During my first time at university, I was really close to being in a situation that I look back on now and can't really believe ever really happened. And when I look back at it, it was really obvious. You know, I was eating dreadfully, I was drinking dreadfully, I wasn't sleeping, I would spend all day in my room, I wasn't exercising, you know, and the thoughts that I wasn't worth anything really did manifest, and it got out of control. And I remember having a conversation with my friends at Christmas, and they were like, you've got to change your lifestyle. And when you're in that moment, it's not something you want to be told, but looking back at it, I can't believe I ever let myself slip into that. And you know, after New Year's Eve, I joined the gym, I started going outside more, I started trying to take more care and more effort in how I ate, and before you know it, my mental health massively improved. Maybe it is only my personal experience, but I can promise you, if you start exercising more, if you go out once a day for a 10-minute walk, however you're currently feeling, you will feel better. And this kind of moves very nicely into my second point, but invest in your health. The second that you start really investing in your health and really investing in exercise and really investing in what you eat is the second that you step out and become this new person. Because that mind state where you can push yourself and do things that you don't want to do, I feel like does massively stem from that. And I know a lot of gym bros are like, oh, go to the gym, you know, that will change your life. But you know what? I think there's some truth in it. Maybe it's not just the gym. Maybe you can go for a run. Maybe you can go play football with your mates. Maybe you can go play tennis. I don't know. But there is definitely some real truth to it. And I could also vouch for the fact that some of my happiest memories at university are playing sport and are playing in the hockey team. Number 3, surround yourself with people that are more successful than you. It kind of stems off that Pharrell quote that, you know, if you want to be faster, you need to run with people that are faster than you. And it is true. During my second year at university, I was all over the shop. I had got 3rd in my first year, and I moved in with a guy called Gus, who is possibly one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. And I wish everyone had a friend like Gus. And he's probably one of the cleverest people I know. And he really pushed me to start working harder. So who you surround yourself with is really important. Then, if you've got work, just start it. If you leave work until the last minute, it very rarely will get done to the level that you could have done it to. And also, just to add on to that, that's not to say that you won't have a great idea last minute. Some of my best ideas for things that I feel like I've accomplished over the last few years have been last minute. Maybe it's been 10 minutes before the deadline, but making sure that you start early and allowing yourself time to have those good ideas right at the end is what really creates the most beautiful, powerful work. Then, very nicely, it's also really important who you choose as your friends. You need to choose friends that bring you up. You need to choose friends that are going to support you through no matter what. To be quite frank, through my time at university, I feel like I've had several groups of friends during my first year, during my second year, during my third year, and I've kept some of them and I've got rid of some of them. And if I felt that they weren't really making my life better or making me improve myself on a daily basis and supporting what it is that I did, then unfortunately they had to go. Next, routine is important, and a lot of how productive you will be is how well you slept, or how well you're looking after yourself and how well you're doing the little things, because I feel like the little things contribute to the big things. You know, if you've got a big project that you need to do, well, you need to make sure you're getting a good night's sleep, because that means you'll think better in the morning. You know, and constantly doing different things all the time, it throws you off, and it means that the big things don't get done. Then if you start something, you've got to finish it. If you make a promise or a commitment to yourself that the thing you're going to start, you're going to get to the end, just do it. Just do it. Because the problem is, as soon as you stop doing the thing that you've promised yourself you're going to do, it sneaks into every other part of your life. Before you know it, you're no longer, I don't know, eating well, or you're no longer going to the gym. So when you have that thought, oh, do I have to do that? Be disciplined. Because if you're not disciplined, honestly, it goes tits up. And trust me, there's been a couple of times where I've done it and it's not fun. Right, well, we're back from my little adventure, unfortunately a little bit warmer. Let's keep the ball rolling. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, a lot of us had to spend a lot of time alone. The life that we had, we were ripped from. And unfortunately, because of the situation that I found myself in first term in university, I spent a lot of time by myself. Now, admittedly, a lot of it very, very unproductive. But the truth be told, spending time by yourself is the only real way that you're going to find out who you truly are. And you know what? I found out a lot of things about myself. It made me realize a lot of different things. When you're spending time with other people, or even spending time just scrolling or whatever, you're distracting yourself from asking yourself the real questions for who you are and what you want to be. And after that Christmas period where I said that I would never go back to where I was or the position that I was in, I had to ask myself a lot of questions. And, you know, that leads me on to the next point, and we can tie this all together very nicely, is you are who you are when no one is watching. Because, you know, in the end of the day, with social media and whatnot, you can present yourself in one manner, but who you actually are and what you say you actually are is what goes on behind the scenes. You know, that in the end of the day is going to make or break your university experience or life, because, you know, I can sit here and say that I run 10K every day, which I don't. You know, I can tell you that I do it, and I can go, yeah, that's what I do. And then when people watch, you know, I can go on a run. But if I'm not doing it behind the scenes, I'm not making the progress that I want to make. And eventually you'll get found out, because you will get found out if you're not who you say you are. Now, this is a really big one for me personally, and something that I've had to really teach myself and try and get over. And pretty much it is just learning to celebrate other people's successes. And I even say that now, gritting my teeth, because I hate to think that someone could do something better than me. I hate it. But you have to do it, because otherwise you're going to get eaten up by envy, and that is far worse, far worse. I really just believe that reveling in other people's success is just a glorious thing. And, you know, seeing other people achieve doesn't mean that you can't achieve yourself. Next and second to last is something that I was taught when I first arrived in London. There was a massive model that I spoke to when I arrived. We had this conversation at this event. I said to her, what is one piece of advice you would give to someone who is new to this, someone who's fresh, someone who doesn't understand the industry? And she turned around and literally said to me, she was like, be kind to everyone. And that is the one piece of advice that I have tried my hardest to take with me through it all. The most successful man that I know is a man named Ajaz Ahmed, who I met with in person a year and a half ago. He's worth over $1 billion. He's set up one of the most successful marketing companies of the last decade. He is an incredible man. And one of the things that is really apparent to me about him when I met him was simply how kind he was as a person. He was kind with his time. He was kind-mannered. And look, he definitely is ferocious in the boardroom, but he is someone who is always looking to give back to society, to community, to other people. And I just think that that makes him such an incredible person. And he is someone that I aspire to be like. And look, you might turn around to me and be like, well, I know loads of people that are really successful and not very nice. And you know what? Unfortunately, I do too. But something that I came to realize is the industry that you work in is often very small, and the university that you go to is very small, and you will get a reputation. Quite often just being kind and thoughtful and looking out for other people can get you a long way. Finally, and this is something that I've really had to learn over the last 3 years and more, is that good things take time. Nothing good happens overnight. You are building a compounding vehicle, no matter it is what you're doing. And that, for me, who's someone who wants instant results, is tough to take. You know, to be quite frank, no one, and I mean no one, is an overnight success. Anyone that you've ever seen do anything has put hundreds and hundreds of hours and passion into what it is that they're doing. You know, my degree, it took me 3 years, and it is hands down to this date my proudest achievement by far. And you know, my social media modeling has been building for 4 years, you know, and I'm still nowhere near where I want to get it, but one day it will be, hopefully, fingers crossed. To kind of finish on a nice little quote, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant it is now. And you can go and plant that seed whenever you want, whatever it is and whatever it is that you want to do. You could go and start, I don't know, an ice cream empire, or I don't know, quite literally go and plant a tree. But yeah, if you start it now, it'll be the best decision you ever made. Anyways, I hope you have found some value in this video. A lot of these things are things that I would describe to myself as my core principles. I know this video is very different to any other videos that I've made, so I hope you have enjoyed it. But yeah, as always, please make sure you like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and yeah, have a lovely day.